After yesterday's announcement, if you're still wondering what game that you should play, Path of Exile or Diablo 4, it seems like there is a clear winner on the horizon, and that being Path of Exile 3.25. If you can see the gameplay in the background, this is some new footage from the announcement trailer that Grinding Gear Games released about the 3.25 patch Settlers of Kalgor, which introduces entirely new campaign, or excuse me, mechanics to the game, some reworks of already existing classes, and complete overhaul of the melee class system. Diablo 4, on the other hand, also released a video highlighting the Vessel of Hatred new character, the Spiritborn class, where we were introduced to a new, essentially playable class of characters, some new lore, as well as a little bit of in-depth analysis of what that is going to be about. So diving into Diablo 4, so we see that Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, we have the new expansion coming October 8th, so we're still a little bit away. This is the new class, the Spiritborn, that was highlighted. The Spiritborn, the Apex Predator, it seems like a very cool idea. After the release trailer and some of the initial gameplay that some popular streamers were able to get to basically publish, and they were able to play the game, my suspicions were correct, as seen in my previous video, which I'll link in this somewhere in here. That is very reminiscent of Act 3 in Diablo 2. The setting, it is a jungle, very dense kind of foliage setting, and it seems pretty exciting. So some of the higher level updates, if you kind of dive into some of the more in-depth release notes. So again, we're introduced to the Spiritborn. There's going to be basically a new mechanic that are these guardians. So you have the Jaguar Guardian, the Gorilla Guardian, the Eagle Guardian, the Centipede, and I think that's all of them. But basically, these are just new ways that you can play the game. It's new mechanics that they're introducing into it that is going to really buff and kind of make it a more unique gameplay to fit what you'd like. Some of the initial gameplay for this that we've started to see with streamers testing this out, it is very reminiscent of the monk class. So it's a very melee heavy. They're limited to only having two-handed stabs. It does seem pretty cool. They gave an excellent presentation on some of the things that are going to be out there. This is some of the cinematics that Blizzard is kind of famous for. Yeah, and it seems like it is really good, and there's a lot to be excited about. And then, about an hour after that, Path of Exile said hold my beer and launched their 3.25 Settlers of Kalgor gameplay trailer, if you will. So not only is this a complete overhaul of the existing Path of Exile game, but it adds tons of new content, a complete rebalancing of melee characters and melee builds, the removal of some very popular mechanics. Some of the examples that come to mind right now are the melee supports gems. So your ancestral call, your ancestral war chief, those are completely going to be going away. To loosely quote what the presentation, they said that you are the one that's going to be dealing the damage, so we want to reward you for it. It's not going to be a set and forget type of gameplay going forward anymore. But after diving through, which again, these are all the patch notes, which I highly recommend that you check out. Both of them have incredible videos highlighting some of the new content, but it is very clear that Path of Exile is going to take the cake on this one. So not only is this out a lot sooner than the Diablo expansion, it's completely free to play, so you don't have to pre-order it or anything like that. And it seems like this is going to be a really great chance for new players to get into the game with the introduction of this new mechanics. They have a new, there's going to be a new currency-based system. So instead of having your traditional, which some of the old school players might remember, PoE.trade or any other, or the more modern version of it, you're going to be able to use gold and then in-game currency trading to kind of facilitate, so you don't have to be waiting for someone to reply, or just worried about not being there if someone replies to you. So overall, I think there's a lot to be excited about. There's going to be some, in Path of Exile, some world building. You're going to be able to build these like kind of ports, and then they introduce some new mechanics that highlight essentially this automation, so that people can play. You can have these Atlas runners that will run maps for you automatically in town, and really it's something that I'm very excited about, and I think a lot of people are really hype about it. So overall, I don't want to drag this out too long. I just wanted to kind of give my first impressions on both. I think this is going to be a really great time for people to try out Path of Exile. I think the Diablo 4 community is excited about the expansion, but I don't think there's really a ton of room to introduce new players into the expansion. I think this is going to be this is their first expansion, the Diablo's Vessel of Hatred. This is going to be their first one. I think there's going to be more to come, but it really seems like Path of Exile is taking the time to do entire overhauls. There's a whole section in here, if I can scroll to it, about just general quality of life things. So walking near, one of the examples was walking near a waypoint will pick it up. You don't have to interact with it or click on it anymore. So little things like that that I think they're really listening to the community and really trying to drive the game forward. There seems to be again, some additional console support that's coming out for Path of Exile, and really just a lot of exciting things on the horizon. So, like I said, not going to drag this out too long. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited to play Path of Exile? Are you excited to play Diablo? I think it's this. All of this is going to be completely thrown to the wind once we get an official Path of Exile 2 kind of release and start to learn more details about that. But for now, very exciting stuff on the horizon. Myself, as a lifelong Diablo fan, and in the early days when I was a Path of Exile, I was able to get a beta key way back in the day. So I'm excited for both games, but it seems like Path of Exile maybe took the cake on this one. So let me guys what you think down below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Just let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.